All right, so the answer to this question is that it would cover a much greater horizontal distance on a gently sloping beach. Because you can imagine like 5 feet up here, you're only covering, let's say like this is 5 feet. On a steep beach, you're only covering, like this horizontal distance every day. You go up to here, go back there, up here, back there. Whereas if it's a gently sloping beach, and then, again, this is 5 feet, now in order for it to go up, it's going to go all the way to here to come out and then all the way back. So, 5 foot tide covers a much greater horizontal distance if it's a gently sloping beach. So, just an example of how like physics and geology interact. Last thing I'm going to talk about are some types of tides. So there are three main types of tides based on how many high tides and low tides you get per day and their heights. So first, most of the world has semi-diurnal tides. That means that there's two high tides and two low tides per day, and they're pretty much the same height. So the high tide's the same height and the low tides are the same height. But you can also have mixed tides or mixed semi-diurnal tides. You still have two high tides and two low tides per day. But now one high tide is higher and one is lower, and one low tide is higher and one low tide is lower. So you can see that in this graph right here. This is the type of tide we have in California. So we have like one higher high tide and one lower high tide, and one higher low tide and one lower low tide. So you can see kind of that graph in the middle there. And lastly is diurnal. Diurnal means you only have one high tide and one low tide per day. So one way you can remember this is semi means half. So diurnal and semi-diurnal, the tide takes place in half the time, right? So you get the two per day. So semi, half, you get one every half day. This is showing where you find these different types of tides all around the world. The light blue is semi-diurnal. The kind of darker purpley blue is mixed. You can see, again, we have that in California. And diurnal is where you only get one high tide and one low tide. You can see you get some of that in Antarctica and a few other places, but that's the more rare type of tide. So with that, we've reached the end of this lecture. Of course, the study guides are here at the end for what you need to know from this lecture. I hope you guys all have a great week. And of course, I will not see you on Friday, but I'll see you the Friday after. And we'll also have another lecture next week. So hope you all have a great week and a nice 4-day weekend. Bye-bye.